Alrighty then, it's time for an Evelyn game. I'm pretty sure this is a game you did not see coming. Which one? And I gotta admit, I actually do like playing Evelyn because of some of the cool traits she has, voice too, but I really hate how your team comp can screw you over or your opponents can screw you over, and it's just a lot of factors that just kind of make her a lot weaker than she should be. She's basically Master Yi with titties. And she's one of the last few remaining hybrids in the game, which is funny considering she didn't start off as a hybrid and she got reworked into one. Now, AD Reds, AD Quints, Armor Yellow, Cooldown Reduction Blues, though I believe there's some MR runes mixed in there, 2190 Masteries, and this is one painful ass game for a lot of reasons. For starters, I picked Evelyn blindly. I just kind of felt like carrying, which is usually... This is unusual for me and kind of irresponsible, having a very easy to counter pick or something that your teammates might not actually assist you with. Oh, by the way, I did fuck up my E, I know that. So it was kind of a selfish pick, it doesn't help a lot. And then my teammate counters himself with Fiora, meaning I have to somehow help him in lane. My bottom lane teammates aren't exactly the most, intelligent players. Well, I'm going to say that Nautilus. He's been angry the entire game, and the Lucian's been trolling or something. I don't know. They started fighting since the start of the game, and it's just one of those situations in which I can't do anything, and yet I'll be blamed for it. Like top lane, you got countered. You can't do shit. It's your own fault. Mid lane, he's the only one who's proper, but Malzahar's too safe usually too safe in lane, so you can't really gank him without crowd control or him getting out of position. And by the way, like this is what I mean. This gank only works out because the Heimerdinger gets too close and Fiora jumps him. Fiora didn't even bother to move at the very beginning to try to help me fight Heimerdinger. Is that kind of player who asks you to do stuff but doesn't actually help you. My bottom laners are proceedingly gonna die again right now at some point, and we'll be begging for kills. If you don't come help us, we're just going to continue to feed. Well, there's nothing I can really do. Play safely, back away when you get pinged or something. Or, be careful when Ashe hits level 6 because they're going to make plays. Or watch the body language of Alistair as he's getting close enough to use his headbutt pulverize crap. Just be careful. And this is, again, the biggest weakness of Evelyn. The lack of crowd control. Her ganking is deceptively weak. A lot of players feel the stealth makes her ganking strong. It helps. It helps you set things up or at least respond to things, but it's not really great ganking. She's got no crowd control whatsoever. She's only good at showing up and adding that damage because your opponent misplayed or something. She can punish your opponents, but she can't set plays up until level 6 or until she gets exhaust, which is something that sometimes I do on Evelyn. As you see my other Evelyn games, I have exhaust on her. Or Mundo for the same reason. Now look, my Fiora teammate is saying, nobody helps me at top, I'm getting destroyed. But, you're not really helping the situation. In this case, he needs to jump on Heimerdinger as soon as possible, and I need to follow through. In this case, the only reason I was able to kill Malzahar is because Victor was a victim of his own gank. So the enemy team was already set on killing him. They already all-inned him. They already burned the resources trying to fight him. In this fight here, the only reason I get away with anything is because the Pantheon doesn't realize he was gonna die regardless, so you might as well just stay there and stab him with a spear. And the Ashe should have just changed focus from the enemy tank, the Nautilus, to me. Or the Lucian, because it's just kind of silly. Both teams focused the tanks in that situation and not focused the damage dealers, so a few members died pointlessly. No, it's getting there, I'm starting to see a little bit of a recovery because once I got my ultimate, I can actually make plays. And the enemy team is doing some fucking stupid things. Like right here, they engage, but Ashe is the one tanking the tower, and the tower was nowhere near truly dead, so it chunked the shit out of Ashe, and I was able to pick up a kill. And then I sort of kite Alistair around as much as I can. I don't stick around and fight him because I know he'd eventually kill me. So I kite him a little bit, get him low, and Lucian's able to just fire on him free. That was a really stupid fight. You just gotta admit, you can call the enemy dumb for having done that. The Fiora at this point is raging, Evelyn hasn't done anything in this game. I don't know, motherfucker, I just killed a few people and started controlling the map a little. So yeah. Bottom lane, though, they actually apologized at this point and realized that, the situation is just a lot more shitty. As you can see, the Fiora is trying to take out her anger on me by trying to steal red. It's like she's just being a bitch to everybody, so I don't care at this point anymore. Pantheon, for whatever damn reason, gets too close and gets chunked down, which allows us to freely jump their teammates and kill them as well. Fiora ends up just flashing over and finishing off the Ashe. Then we kill the cow. Heimerdinger gets close, and we're gonna be able to get the tower right now. Wait, no. We get Dragon. Like they ping me, come get Dragon. I'm like, you don't need me, nobody's there, and they ping me anyway, so I just have to go there. So it kind of lost the top lane farm. It is not a big loss anyways. But as you can see, this is one of my favorite things as Evelyn. If you don't have a lot of kills, you can always build in a tanky conservative build, and it'll still function really well because her base values are really good. She's got and I mean, she can be pretty much carried by one item like a warrior, the warrior enchantment, or brutalizer, ghost blade, something like that, and you can just build this in the whole whatever. One damage item is enough to carry her, and your runes and masteries, of course. However, if you got hyper fed, you can go full AD, or hell, even full AP. Though I think the AP build isn't as good as the AD build currently is. But watch this fight. The enemy team is so split apart, and they can't really get a good focused target. Like the Ashe is not able to contribute. The Malzahar is pretty much being kept at bay by the Nautilus. I'm able to eviscerate Malzahar, jump in, finish off the Ashe, and then the rest of the team falls apart. They were so scattered everywhere. They didn't have the same target, so it was quite a good initiation, but it just failed because they were so split up. They didn't have a focused target. They didn't protect Ashe all that well. She got chunked down by my teammates. So it was just a really shitty fight for blue team. And this is the kind of fight we needed in order to reset things. Next item I'm building is Banshee's Veil. And the reason I'm building Banshee's Veil is because if you look at the enemy team, they don't have any spammable crowd control or any crowd control they can throw away, right? Actually, watch this. I ganked on the Heimerdinger. The Fiora is still just kind of dicking around. I was like, why didn't you just engage him? I was nearby. And she shows up just enough to steal the kill. Yay. And then dies because she just engaged randomly and fed through everything. Here I move down bottom, and then I realize the enemy team is going to come through their blue side, so I have to run through Pantheon and hope the Nautilus could protect me. And thankfully he could. That was being him a bro. And that was him being a bro. Anyways, as I was saying, the enemy team has no crowd control they can spam. The only crowd control they could possibly use on me that is immediate would probably be Malzahar's Q, though it has a small channel. But even then, that's not enough to actually stop me. Most of their crowd control will be like the Headbutt, or the Pulverize, or the Ashe Arrow, or the Slow, or some spell to remove a Banshee's Veil. But regardless, what I'm trying to say is when I actually pop out, there's nothing they could do to immediately stop me that wouldn't have been better used, or they would have wanted to use it offensively or on some other target. So the Banshee's Veil is actually one of the best item choices I could make. I was even thinking of a Sash at some point to double up the efforts on this. I mean, think of it this way. I pop out of nowhere. What's Malzahar going to do? If he wants to stop me, he's got to put a spell on me first to remove my Banshee's Veil, and that lets me scratch him a little bit, and then he's going to want to ult me. But the second he casts a spell on me, he's going to lose a bunch of the damage of that spell, and I'm going to realize he's about to use his ultimate, so I'll move out of the way and make him lose even more effectiveness or something like that. That's my idea. Everybody else also has to do that kind of shit, so Banshee's Veil is just a really good item choice. We killed Heimerdinger. You saw me use line of sight to ambush him and just get up on him all melee style. We killed the Ashe. We were about to kill the Alistar. I flash over to try to finish him off, but my teammates kill him through the wall anyway, so my flash is pretty much wasted. So the 3 kills were basically free. I hope you saw that too. I've suggested this before. I've mentioned it before too. The line of sight gank, or the ambush gank. You use line of sight so the opponents themselves will close the gap for you. It's basically like running at you. You chest bump them and then punch them in the dick, and that's it. They die. That's the way certain champions can maximize their damage. Because let's say if it was a full frontal fight where I had to run to the Heimerdinger, he would throw spells at me. He would pop my veil, throw a grenade or something like that, and I wouldn't be able to catch him. Right? He'd do a lot of damage before I actually got to him. But in this case, though, I basically completely negated his range advantage over me and just cut him to pieces. And that's even important on Evelyn because again, line of sight negates the whole proximity, I can finally see you, Evelyn thing. That haunts her a lot. Now, here's a funny thing. The enemy team saw that I was doing blue, and they thought, oh, they saw that I killed blue quickly, so they wouldn't come here. So I tried to go to my jungle, and they're like, holy shit, they still came anyways. Sad fact, though, is if I had turned around and CC'd them and kept them there, we might have actually been able to wipe them out, because it seemed Fiora had 2 members at top lane distracted. And we'd be able to just, 4 versus 3 that shit. Now, same thing as I was saying, I hide behind a wall or something, because if my teammates get engaged, I can just, avoid being spotted by line of sight and run in there and do things. And this fight doesn't go too well, because my team is scattered and we don't have a focus target, and their squishy targets are all protected by their tanks. So we just get wiped out. Sadly, if we had a certain melee carry with us, it might have gone differently, but she had other ideas, like getting caught out and dying. So yeah, it's just that kind of stereotype, the Riven Fiora stereotype. Nonetheless, though, it's still going by kind of well. So like you can see, right now I'm just waiting. I'm not attacking Alistar. He's not one of my main targets, and I don't want to reveal myself or anything. My target is Ashe. My whole target in this game is Ashe. If I can kill her, if I can get close to her and scratch her minge, I'll win this fight. So that's what I do. I just wait for her to be exposed, jump in and kill her, and easy peasy, finished her off. Then I go for Heimerdinger. He's got flash, or he just kind of escapes. And I wait in the outskirts, waiting for another squishy to just show up so I can scratch their eyes out. And Heimerdinger tries to go in to help a dragon, but yeah, I catch him off guard. He blasts me, he CCs me, but that's not enough to kill me. So wipe the floor with Heimerdinger 2. Malzahar gets finished off by my teammates, and Pantheon is basically trapped. Fortunately, he missed his smite. Lucian was able to secure Dragon, as my smite was still down just for about 3 seconds. So that was a really good turnabout. And I hope you're seeing how by the way, this is stupid. I hate this. I hate this so much that the Alistar did this. Because right now, because of what he did, Ashe will proceed to die for free. Now, the reason I say I hate that is because there's just some people who aren't too experienced with tanks who think going for the glorious crowd control or the glorious knockups is all that matters. The Malphites who go, I got 5 of the enemy team, it's your fault. No, just because you got a lot of members of the enemy team doesn't mean anything. The way using crowd control works is if there can actually be proper follow-up to it. Alistar used headbutts pulverize on 2 of my teammates. For what reason? Nothing came of it. He momentarily CC'd the enemy and now lost his only means of protecting Ashe. So we just jumped Ashe and killed her. So, like in this case, Alistar was able to use his CC to keep Fiora down to kill her. That's actually the way it should go. If he just initiated on one of us, like he's actually going to do soon, and there's no follow-up whatsoever, then that's just kind of wasting your abilities, putting them on cooldown. And by the way, any noise you hear in the background is once again people in the pool, because I live next to a pool and it gets annoying very much. Anyways, proceed to kill them. I go after Malzahar. Pantheon jumps over us, and honestly, I should have been able to dodge some of Malzahar's spells, and I honestly shouldn't have even run into Pantheon's fucking E. That was just fucking awful of me. But still, it works out in the end. We basically get a full team wipe. Ashe died early, and she just kind of got the chance to respawn because that fight took quite a while. So, we got a glorious lead now, and the Fiora proceeds to die because you guys got a lead? Let me throw away her lead. Fortunately, it's a significant lead, so it's not going to be thrown away that easily. We have the damage without her to at least eviscerate the enemy team. I catch the Malzahar by himself. I engage on him. As you can see, I have a Banshee's Veil. He has to use a spell to remove it from me, but sorry, I have to clear my throat. But he had used his other abilities on clearing those minions. I saw him use his E and I saw him use his Q, so I knew he didn't have them available. He only had his W and his ultimate. So the enemy team gets caught, they get killed, we take the inhibitor, and from here on you can just see the enemy team has no chance of winning. Heimerdinger actually managed to survive, and Alistar, who had pretty much full health, is the one who turns out to be the one to die. Pantheon tried his best to do anything, or at least try to get a kill before the game is over, and it didn't amount to very much either. So with that, game is basically over, and I won as Evelyn, even though my teammates were raging. Honestly, though, the Nautilus was kind of a bro at the end, though, so yay. So hooray for in-game bromance.